Okay, I've seen a lot of fight instructional videos out there that have bad information or give incorrect information or just downright wrong information about fights. But this one video that I watched just takes the cake out of all of them. It's titled "Why You Shouldn't Punch in a Street Fight," and it's by Cqtraining. It is completely and totally incorrect and wrong in just about every single aspect of the video. And I just couldn't watch it and then not do an answering video of why it's so ridiculous. First off, he starts out by saying that you shouldn't punch because when you do punch, you're going to hit somebody in the top of their head and hurt your hand. And that if you hurt your hand when you punch, then you won't be able to then use your gun to shoot them after you punch them. Or then you won't be able to open your knife so that you can stab them after you punch them. Okay? Just that alone, I shouldn't even have to say anything about how ridiculous that is. First off, he says the body's natural response to a strike coming to the face is to tuck your head down and point your forehead at them while you close your eyes. I've been involved in a lot of healthcare in my career, and that's where I'm planning to go with my career. And I've studied a lot of physiology. And any fighter who's ever been in an actual fight knows that what I'm about to say is absolutely true. The body's natural response to a strike coming to the face isn't to tuck your head down and point your forehead at your opponent. Instead, it's to flinch your eyes and pull your head back while tucking your chin down and turning to the side. That's the natural response. And any fighter who's done any kind of training at all, which this guy obviously hasn't done, knows this because it's something they have to overcome in order to become a good fighter and keep their eyes open during a fight and not flinch. So it's just preposterous that you have a real risk of hitting anybody in the forehead when you do a punch. Second of all, when you do a punch, if you do your punch correctly, you're going to have very little injury to your hand, because the way you punch is you come out straight and end your punch so that your arm is completely in line, so that all the bones in your arm line up in a straight line and come out to these front two knuckles, because that's what you're punching with, is these first two knuckles. And unless by some odd weird chance you happen to hit the top of their skull, which I don't know how, then maybe you might injure your hand. But then I guess in that case you can't shoot them then afterwards. He says instead that the best option is to do a hammer fist. Hammer fist is a good weapon to use, but not in this particular instance. Because if I stop and instead of doing a straight jab, I do a hammer fist, I'm leaving everything open. I'm leaving my entire side of my face open, and it takes me twice as long to do a hammer fist. How am I going to punch this guy in the jaw with an overhand hammer fist? How am I going to hit him in the nose with an overhand hammer fist? What am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything. It's completely ridiculous. So if I come with my hammer fist and I come nice and slow, try and hit him, I have no protection here. I have an almost impossibility of getting the actual punch in and doing any damage to him at all. I mean, it's ridiculous. Second, he says that instead you should do a karate chop to the neck instead of the punch. Okay? Now, I've already done one video about the 5 most common mistakes made in a street fight, and one of those is how a guy will do a haymaker and come nice and huge and wide and leave you all the time in the world to do any kind of counter that you want, any kind of block you want, give you plenty of time. Well, the karate chop he describes in his video is nothing but an open-handed haymaker. And the great thing is he mentions in the video how a haymaker is a bad idea. Okay? So if I'm coming with my chop to the neck, I'm doing nothing but an open hand haymaker and giving him plenty of time to block and do whatever he wants. So again, yet another bad idea. So instead, what you should do is, like I've already explained, go for your straight jab punch with your shoulder up and your head down, your chin tucked, so that my face is covered, and even if he tries to hit me right now when I do my jab, what's he going to get? He's going to get that top of the head that the guy described was a bad place to hit. And in the meantime, I'm coming through with my jab. And now I can come straight back with a straight right or whatever other combo that I've already shown. So when you see videos like this with totally inaccurate information, just stop for a moment and think about it. Okay? It's just totally a bad idea, and it's just completely ridiculous. But on the other hand, if you're worried about messing up your hand so that you can't shoot or stab somebody after you punch them, hey, maybe follow his advice.